Hey, man. I don't know what y'all came to do, but I came to praise the Lord. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good.
Wow.
Some church folks said, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, and there are 2 or 3 of us that are gathering here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. This is Nightcap Knowledge. My name is DJ George Chuck. I am joined by my illustrious co-host, the Mac Nasty One, and the terrific Tanya Boyd Cannon. Hey, man, Mac, you know you nasty, man.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
Look, I feel much better. I feel much better than how I felt from earlier. So all I can say is this. It's Nightcap Knowledge. It's Tuesday night, and we've got some things to talk about. We've got Get Fine, FamFine with FamBam Shay, how to stay fine through difficult times. So we're going to get a few disaster relief updates from my boy Mac. Our girl Tanya's going to give us some updates about what she's been doing. She has got it popping, ladies and gentlemen. Popping. She might well be named as Poppington. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Nightcap Knowledge. Shout out to the official water of Nightcap Knowledge. Refreshing taste, keeping it simple. It's Aspira Pura. You can get it on Amazon, baby. Straight at your door. Straight like that. One time for the Epps Institute, healing the entire you. The Epps Institute, they've been getting in these streets. They got a whole bunch of stuff going on. But Mac will tell you about it in the Mental Health Minute. And shout out to these folks right here. They dropped a very large donation for the disaster relief efforts. It's the Mississippi School of Health Services and Careers, one of our longtime supporters of Nightcap Knowledge. So when you're out in these streets and you're trying to tell somebody who is really about that life, who is really about Mississippi, that is B1 Holding Group. It's the Mississippi School of Health Services and Careers. You can check them out, mshscschool.com. And man, I've been in these wedding streets. And if you want the groove at your wedding, holla at your boy, georgechuck.com. It is what it is, baby. And it's going to be what it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Nightcap Knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
On y'all weekend.
Yeah.
Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yo.
Shoo-doo-doo-doo.
Come on. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna stop clowning. We're gonna stop
Look,
clowning.
on the for real, Chuck, I need to know. Oh, okay.
You heard that?
But it is, yo. Oh, what's up? I thought that was that song, right? Chuck, what's the song? What's the song before our what's the first intro song?
The first intro song?
I need that song.
Oh, it's a track I downloaded from I'm giving some of my creative secrets right here. Pay attention.
Just send it to me.
So I have a
don't do it.
What, man? They just gonna duplicate it.
I mean, it's in it.
Okay.
It's your intellectual property right now. Is it?
Nah, man, look, God gave it to us, and we gonna keep on giving.
God gave it to me. Oh, my bad.
In the world,
I started choking already. I need my pump. Son, where my pump at?
Tell Jay I say what up.
Wait a minute, man.
You know I'm back on the inhaler, bruh. Like this weather ain't.
You don't
no
need
joke.
you to have no attack on the social
Jay,
media.
look on the bed.
On the internet.
Look on the bed in my fanny pack.
Now look, here you go.
I need that. I need that.
All right, that's called soul hip hop. So I have a subscription to this thing called Elements by Envato, and it allows me. It kind of cuts down on like some creative process. So I think my tools that I use most regularly are Elements by Envato, of course, the Creative Suite, and then one of the places where I go to find royalty-free images is unsplash.com. That's the place that I use for royalty images. So if I can't take the photo myself, or if one of my friends, like for instance, Tanya, you'll take pictures and stuff like that. And of course, we have photographers. We'll put all that stuff into our creative marketing and things. But if we can't find something, I just go to places like that. So that's our little creative tidbit for the Tuesday, March 28th, 2023.
Well, creatively email it over to me.
Yes. Yes, sir, boss.
Look. I was like, pop, 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 pop. I can't post it yet because I need the song. I
saw something else popping.
Ew, look, I'm scared to post it.
That thing, you look like, man, whoa. Man, look, let me send you that right now.
Stop, Chuck. You already took it. Hey, stop. Don't say that now. But you say shit. Don't you say that better than. Oh shit.
Listen, I was coming from. I will talk about it in entertainment, but I was listening to Robert Glasper's India.Arie High, and then I turned on Marquise Hill, and then I turned on Kendrick Lamar.
Who the fuck is Robert Glasper?
Man, listen, when I tell you I was zoning all the way, driving 90 from downtown New Orleans trying to get to my house because I had an event, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, bop.
Wop, jiggy, wop.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. What's time for you, man? Matt, go ahead and give me a disclaimer, please.
Tell everybody what this show right here is rated black and uncensored, real talk, real issues, real solutions. We come to tell it like a TI is. We're gonna watch TBC choke over there in the goddamn couch. Cause we're gonna have a good goddamn time tonight. Your ass went up there sucking on that inhaler and shit, laughing early in the evening. We trying to keep you here.
I almost said so.
Okay, we try to take care of you.
I held, but I didn't.
We try to take care of you. We try to keep you here.
Hello.
You are important. You are precious.
Let me hear you say, hell
you are smart.
Hell yeah.
Y'all cutting up tonight. Marcus.
No, Chuck started
before me. They started before me. I came in like 1 minute before we started. They didn't cutting up.
Nope. I was quiet. I was quiet as a church mouse. That was
all I can say, man, is for us to be able to smile in such turbulent times. It is a wonderful thing. And for the topic that we have, trying to stay fine through difficult times, like we need to have that positive energy. You gotta feed yourself with positive things in your ears, feed yourself with positive food for your soul and for your belly. So man, look, I'm with it tonight. All right, I'm with it tonight. All right. Now look, let's go ahead and get this mental health. Yeah, this mental health minute. And Mac, you are highlighted right now, sir.
And he's frozen.
All right. So we have a lot of difficult times going on right now in the state. So we are talking about crisis, recovering during crisis, telling folks about things they need to do to keep their minds busy, and just a few little things that you might remember as we look at what's happening across the state. So we talk about gratitude, staying around positive people, kindness, and compassion. We also want to remind people, move your body, mental attitude, be positive, laugh is the best medicine, and also always keep the faith. Keep the faith in your deity and whoever you believe in, as we continue to work and support others. Sometimes traumatic experiences don't have to happen directly to you. It can happen to people that you know, or people that you're close to, or even what you witness. With the things that happen with the tornadoes, that just happened, we know it could have been us. It could have been a lot closer to us than what has happened. So the whole state is affected. The whole South is affected. I think the country is feeling this. So we want to uplift those folks that are going through it directly, and let's continue to remain positive and supporting them. So that's it. The crisis recovery, what to do during a crisis, and how we need to conduct ourselves in the midst of these times. Back to you, Chuck.
Brother, we appreciate that, Mac. That mental health minute is definitely on point and one that we need to reiterate throughout these difficult times. So that we're gonna have to make sure we lift that one up on the daily and practice those things that you said. We got to put them in play.
Yep.
I don't know about y'all, but put me in the game, coach. I'm ready to play today. Put me in, coach. TVC, what you got?
Look at Mark comment.
I know. That's why I smile. Ain't nothing like it. Anywho, on the for real though, I just returned from the Historical Stages Project, which is this amazing brain of Dewan Adams and her partner Roman Rowe, who have created a platform for elders and artists to have conversations about how we continue the legacy of those elders while keeping true to what their missions were and are. And it was a panel tonight for the New Orleans Entrepreneur Week, an amazing experience.
You performed that before?
I have performed it with Sabrina Short, such a beautiful light, and she's grown like her business, within it in such a magnifying way. But yeah, tonight was a great conversation with elders. Mama Doretta Mama Dodie Smith, who is not only a freedom writer but a civil rights mover and shaker. She'll be 80 years young soon. So we celebrated her tonight as well as had a conversation with her and just shared how she overcame so much, because a lot of people don't know a lot of our elders still in New Orleans are still doing the work. And so it's time for us to do the work with the help of their stewardship as well as guidance and leading us to continue the excellence in which they began and what they've completed after working with ancestors who instilled that same light in them. And so I'm just inspired to be a part of this project. It's Historical Stages, and it's such an amazing platform that artists, archivists, as Baba Al, the man on the far left, Baba Al talks about, he speaks like 7 languages. This brother speaks like 7 languages. He is a walking archive. He's a walking library. And we had a conversation to sit down and talk about how he began the work and how he's still doing the work. He would take journeys. He would leave for months and continue to do the work all over the world. So I'm just honored and humbled to be able to sit at his feet and listen to those stories that's also being inspired. So myself and Winston, the brother that's right next to me, Winston Turner is the founder of the Brassaholic Band.
Okay.
And yep. So he's this project is elder and artist, right? Elders and artists, and we come together. Deidre is also an artist named Deepa Soul. So she's well known in the entertainment industry as well as in the film industry, and she's a producer. So anything when you start talking about the New Orleans Four, Miss Leona Tate, Miss Ruby Bridges, Tessie Prevost, and Gail Etienne, she's behind maximizing the awareness of who these New Orleans Four girls were, because everyone know the story of Ruby Bridges, but they don't know the story of my neighbor Miss Leona and Miss Gail and Miss Tessie. So she's began to do the work of that project, and she's also the niece of Miss Leona. So it's I mean, when I tell you it's just great because Mama Dodie stood up and danced. She's ready for a selfie. When she see me coming, she's ready to dance.
So she already on it.
She was one of the original founders of the New Orleans Jazz Festival, so it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. So it's so much rich history. Baba Al, Buffalo Soldier. Like when I tell you the stories that you would hear John Banks and Noble when we talk about the Louisiana, the Battle of Louisiana. He knows the history. My son played John Banks and Noble, who was the black boy who fought in the Battle of Louisiana. So he pulled John to be a part of that when he was about 8 or 9. So we have so much history here, and it's amazing to see the historical values and understandings of truth and not honesty with music, and to heal us all by bringing the historical stages to existence.
I like that, man. I like that. The am I doing that?
No.
Y'all hear that? That is definitely me in the background. What I was going to mention, I was going to mention that the thing that stands out to me most in this graphic, the word intergenerational.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said elder and artist, meaning that you got folks who have lived experience, that are adding to those that have in the process of, they're in the process of coming behind them. So to do something like that, and then it's about, the whole storytelling part, but then it's being documented, and you've got the lessons that are being shared, all of that, man. I think that's awesome.
Dewan and Ro have been at this for 4 years now, and now to see it come into fruition of what the purpose of it is and why it's needed. And I shared tonight of the importance of storytelling. Like, music is powerful, but I was talking with my professors last week, and I think I shared this last week. In class, the word semanticism, I never really got into words.
Like
semanticism. Semanticizing. So I say semanticism because it's in the act of when you're semanticizing the lyrics, you start looking at this word, it's like, man, that word is so much deeper than just the music theory. You look at music theory, it's notes, it's rest, it's beats, and all of that, right? But when you semanticize words, people used to wonder why Teddy P could take the panties off women, right? He know how to semanticize the hell out of some words. Right. Lenny Williams, even Otis and Bonquisha, baby, I got that cold duck. It's how you take these words and you bring them to life, and then you add the music to it. That's why I Insta story India Ari yesterday, and she reshared my story, and we had been going back and forth in the DMs, and I was just like, sis, you're inspiring me, because this song she did with Robert Glasper called High on the new album, and she says,
right here.
Listen, you see what I'm saying? Like semanticizing. She's telling the guy, and you could tell this was like a raw take in the studio of her. Hey, Lena Bean, hey, my baby, that's my boo.
What's happening?
You can tell how this take in the studio with India was just organic, because she's saying like, basically she called the guy to say hi. It's been 10 years. She want to send him a picture. She want to see how he looks.
I heard that song.
Yeah, she's like, how in the fuck you look at this? I'm like, wait, oh my God, these arpeggios But then the lyrics,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm wishing I was that dude that she's singing to, because you know it's
Like sing to me like that.
Yeah, it's how she approaches. So
Oh,
I feel
here's another pair of draws. There you go.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I feel when it comes to music and what I've been teaching my students, I've been doing this. I just didn't know the word. So, and Dewan said that last night we was on the phone. She said semanticism, semanticizing, semantics. She said, right. She said, Tanya, she said, you do this every time you're on stage.
Yeah.
She said, you do this when you're in your classrooms. That's why students are crying when you have them to sing something and they can't release it like completely because they're living in the words. When we begin to live in the words and not just sing a song, but it's just like I'm gonna use working out, right? Because I know FamBam is in the green room waiting to come in. It's like when we're working out, and I know she's gonna amen this too. When you're in the gym, I don't know what y'all song is, but Plain Jane by A$AP Ferg. Rob, mama, come, do Allah, check it with me and do your job. But I'll be in that bitch like lift this shit like that bitch 80 pounds. I ain't even know, but it's how those lyrics feed us.
Hey, you know what mine is?
What is it?
Dum 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 dum.
Wait, I'm about to come back. Squash banana, squash banana, squash banana. It's not squash banana. I just be saying it.
Oh,
it's Lil Wayne. It's Lil Wayne. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. I be saying squash banana because I think it sounds cute. But but it's that when we begin to understand why ancestors would sing "How I Got Over" and why those songs still speak to us today. It's the semantics behind it.
So I think that plays into where we bring in FamBam Shay, and it ties into Mac's point about his mental health minute for the day. So we all have difficult moments, right? We have moments where we need to vent. We have moments where we are feeling not like ourselves or not our best self, right? What do you do? What do you listen to? What do you eat? What do you look at? So I've seen a lot of people, they have sticky notes. I don't like sticky notes. So one of the things that I am planning to do, and I've put the plans in place, meaning that I'm working on designs, and the designs are going to have certain phrases that resonate with me. And they're going to be framed, and it's going to be real cute and dope. Like cute is what women respond to. So when they say something, oh, that's cute, right? Say, Tanya, yes, you do.
I say cutiful. I say cutiful.
It's just like semanticisim. See what I'm saying? All right, it's beautiful. All right, but if it's dope, oh, that's hard right there, dog. That's hard.
Yeah.
I want to be able to look and be like, all right, that's hard. Let's go. That's exactly what I needed to see. Now, what do you need to hear? Tanya, you sent me something, and this is the groove, and then we're gonna get to FamBam Shay. We gotta get matter of fact, come on, let's bring in FamBam Shay.
Come on, FamBam.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring FamBam Shay in with a hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Hey everybody!
Hey, boo!
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Man, we're doing great. We up in here we talking, and we're talking about what you need to see and what you need to hear when you're in these difficult times. And I know that you got something to add to it.
Yeah.
But Tanya, she sent me something, and I didn't get a chance to listen to it until today because my head had been so far down. Like we got disaster relief stuff, like me and Mac and Superior on the phone. We going back and forth. We communicating with community partners. And how do you get yourself to the point? What do you listen to where you get yourself to the point to where you're motivated, you feel rejuvenated, and you're back ready to fight? I know one thing I did this morning. I worked out. I got my mindful meditation, and then my sister had something in my text message thread with her that poured into me. So FamBam Shay, we need to hear a word from our fitness evangelist.
We need to hear from you. We need a word from you.
I'm drinking my water before I start my. You know how they used to do in the old Baptist church. You know they had the glass up there. You know on the pulpit.
The fancy picture. The fancy picture. Not water.
The finest.
Yes. Actually, I got a little. I don't know what y'all drinking. I forgot. I don't think I heard what everybody is drinking, but I actually just mixed up my nighttime cocktail. My magnesium, and then I do my vitamin B complex before I go to bed at night. Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. So just some things that I definitely want to hear from around the room of like what everybody is doing. But of course, meditation and exercise. I mean, exercise is we releasing those endorphins, just to get those feel good moves. But like I said, I'm very interested to know what you guys are doing, and just here as of late. I'll be honest, I've kind of disconnected a bit, from the social media world, even news. It's just been a lot. It's just been, just really a lot. So personally, for me, I think now more than ever, it's also important to, build that tribe, build your tribe of people, of those friends who are going to send you, those uplifting words of encouragement when you need it. And you can, also share but I think that's very important to make sure that, we have those relationships and that connectivity, to real things. So I've definitely, like I said, I personally just kind of taken a step back and, really just embracing everyone just in my present, like, hey, mama, hey, daddy, like, how y'all doing? Like, let's connect, on a more, I guess, substantial level. That's just kind of what I've been on as of late, and making sure that I'm getting all my vitamins and my supplements, and because it's just been crazy, really crazy times. Even so much so, I know that some of you all know, but I just relocated from Nashville less than a year ago. So with yesterday's events, it was just like, oh my goodness, it really hit home. So what are y'all doing? How are y'all coping?
Well, I know for sure for me, there's been like a series of back to back. And that, like, we've got Mac hold up his drink. We have a number of events and activities that that's the work. Like, what are we responsible for? So there you go. All right, but
okay.
So what are we responsible for? Now you think about that, and sometimes your responsibilities can seem like they might overwhelm you. But what do we do to cope? So I've taken your advice, and when I feel like I'm getting wound up, I do one of the I don't know what my phone is, but the fitness app on your iPhone, when you have like the little family plan, like for your storage and everything, you get access to like these workouts. And so what I've been doing like the HIIT workout, and then the mindful meditation or something like that. And so they guide you through the stretches, and then I put it up on my my little Apple TV. And once I get done with that, then I try to listen to certain podcasts that I feel that pours into me, or at least affirms some things that I've been working on personally. Then outside of that, it's like, I want to hug my kids, I want to kiss my wife, I want to play with my dog, stuff like that. That sometimes I forget about. Like, I forget the dog back there sometimes. And so purposely I'll go back there and look at the dog and be like, hey, Sky. And then, rub on her a little bit. And then like she look up like, man, you are the best person in the world. And then I come back in, and then I get back at it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's necessary to take those, little small breaks. Sometimes you may have to take more than that. I think it's been a couple of weeks now for me, specifically in the whole social media world, but it's
And ain't nothing
definitely
wrong.
important. Hmm?
I say, and ain't nothing wrong with taking, as long a break as you need.
Yeah, yeah. And you said something. You mentioned meditation, exercise, and also listening to something positive. Being very
Mm-hmm.
intentional about either listening to something positive or reading something positive. Definitely helps. Like reaffirm yourself, and just kind of keeps you in that positive space. Um, as well as I didn't hear anybody say, we're just gonna kind of bring, everything back in. We're physical, mental, spiritual, prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
right.
actually, being truly connected. So I think all five of those things are, not, well, I mentioned four. The other thing, too, it kind of takes a little more work, but I've kind of been a little more consistent with it, is really understanding what my goals are. We talk
Mm-hmm.
about, being a better me in 23, but you can't really know where you're going if you haven't identified those things,
Yeah.
and map those things out. So to really review those, even daily, is a game changer, because it keeps you focused on, end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate just time. Time is valuable. And so my day starts with about 20 to 30 minutes of prayer, meditation, affirmation, motivation, like all of the shunations. Or, I start. YouTube has these amazing. I don't know. I can't remember the platform, but it's on YouTube. And there's this one lady. She prays. I call her Auntie. And once you listen to one video, they start sending you their whole channel of
Yeah.
videos. So every day I get up and I just go to YouTube and I just get my prayers already, loaded, uploaded. And this one lady, I look for her voice. I call her Auntie. It's just like when I need to hear her, randomly she pops up.
Hmm.
After that, I do Psalms 91. Psalms 91 was in my spirit about 6 months ago. So I've been obedient to bring Psalms 91 back in my spirit, and part of my daily prayer meditation ritual. And then it's from there I do my ancestors prayer, because I have to pay homage to my ancestors. And then affirmation. I mean, there's some days where I work out early, I work out late, but
Yeah.
the goal is to get it in. Therapy. I have therapy once a week with my therapist, who's the license, and then I have therapy with my village. I had a chance to really release with elders on Sunday, and I released in a way that I've never released before. And the whole time I'm releasing, they're holding me up, like I'm physically holding me up. And she was standing at my back. That's how she was holding me up. And if
Hmm.
she would have moved, I would have fell. And I remember her grabbing me. After that, I remember just wiping my face. So those moments of being able to release, being vulnerable, I feel that it's part of the workout too. And also giving yourself the credit of working out, because working out is important. Because I was going to ask you about bone joint recovery, because I will tell you, since last month, that 30-minute window is always on my mind when I leave the gym. You have 30 minutes to get something in of
Mm-hmm.
protein for that recovery. That 30 minutes, I'm making a protein shake before I leave
Come on.
tomorrow to go to the gym at 6. So it's like that 30 minutes, as soon as I finish, I need to be drinking this protein. I need to be eating something that has at least 20 grams of protein, something,
Mm-hmm. Look
getting
at
it in.
you.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
baby. They be around the school saying, "What's up, Slim?" I be like, "Eddie," But no, but I feel like those it's tidbits of things that people don't realize that make a difference. So I don't get on the scale anymore, but I do see the differences in my clothes, and I feel it. And I also give myself credit for what I've done, but I also give myself permission to know that it does not happen overnight. and I give myself permission to know that if I want it, I have to go and get it. So it's all of these things that I feel are important. And I'm always sending Chuck, like Chuck said, I'm always sending these motivations when they come to me. I send them out. So I think I feel having a true community of driven humans doing helps you to continue to be a human doing, because we're all human beings. But if we ain't doing nothing, I did say ain't, then we're just a human being, just being present. So we need to continue to be humans doing. Yeah.
Agreed. Absolutely. Brother Matt, how are you coping these days? What are you doing? Froze. He freezing up.
Getting blamed. No, I can't tell on my end.
What you say now?
No, I said I can't tell on my end. I said I can't tell on my end if I'm freezing or not. But Marcus, getting blamed by Marcus. That's what going on, man. So we've been rolling with doing disaster relief work. We've been doing voter registration. We've been doing goal. I hear you saying like you setting goals and checking your goals. When you set these goals, you put it up, you got to put the work in it to make the goal become accomplished. That takes a whole lot. And for my morning routine, I get up every morning, do my calisthenics, stretch, and then I do my meditation. And I have to put my back flat on the floor, right? I have some back issues, but that's what time you think. And I think and start processing the day and what we're going to do and what we need to do or what I need to do. And for me, what I like, two things for me is old school stuff. I like going outside. That's my thing. I like to be outside and I like to listen to the radio. Not like a Spotify. I like to listen to a local radio station. And that's how you keep up to date with what's going on. I listen to 90.1. I listen to 99 Jam, Kixie. And the thing is, because radio has done so much for the Black culture over the years, and now we have a lot of white stream things that are taking over, and artists, we don't listen to regular radio, and that's what has taken care of us. Before we had TV, we always had radio, and LL always talk about, I never thought it would be a time without my radio. So I like radio where you don't control what's coming on the next, what's coming on next. You just listen to what's coming on. So, and having friends in radio, we talk about the importance of why we must continue to support stuff like, the local radio station. The local radio station gonna tell you when a tornado on the goddamn ground. XM radio ain't gonna tell you there's a damn tornado on the ground in your neighborhood. So, local radio, you need that. You need that. And as we talk about what's going on now, we know the very importance of public broadcasting. So, but those things I like to do to relax. I like being outside, and I like to just listen to the radio.
Nice.
Put on a good station like a Kixie or Blues station. So that's my thing.
I recently just
and Mark is blaming me because Mark has been providing the food.
Speaking of radio, I do agree because there aren't a lot of Black radio stations. There just simply aren't. Here you can turn on and probably get every, Hispanic channel that there is. And I recently turned off XM radio. And I too have just took it all the way back to old school, listening to the radio. So it's definitely important. Good stuff.
Yeah. Supporting Black radio. And I think we're spoiled in Jackson in a sense.
I agree. Yeah.
I think part of that is why Jackson is being attacked in the manner that in which it is. So it's being attacked, at the state level. It's being attacked, environmentally, it's being attacked financially. There are a lot of factors at play where you've got a 90.1 that's been there. For how long? 90.1 been there? I don't know how long, right? Now, look past 90.1, you got 97.7. Then you got B-Day 99.1. And then if you look a little bit further, even though it may be a whatever the Alpha Media or whomever owns 99 Jams, you have long-standing individuals like DJ Mailman, DJ Finesse, Alice Marie. You got all of these individuals that have true ties, not only to the HBCUs and the station, but I'm talking about beyond Jackson. You got folks that's got ties to all of the communities where the big station reaches. So when Mac starts to speak about when a disaster happens, you ain't going to your XM radio to look at that. You are going to turn on if you have a weather radio, you're gonna have the weather radio on. And if you are a Negro in the state of Mississippi, you're gonna listen to the big station. If you
a lot of people go to social media too.
Very, very much so.
I don't know why, because it's not in real time, but it's just to see what's happening.
Right.
It's unfortunate because a lot of the radio stations, syndicated radio stations, have been the jobs have been, taken over because everything is automated now, or everything is done from the home of these big name celebrities who are being paid so much that the record companies are giving the stations the funding to keep certain artists' music in rotation that probably came out 20 years ago. And so, because I had this conversation with a couple of the program directors here in the city, asking why so many radio disc jockeys, or what they used to call them, why their jobs were in jeopardy. And they talked about it when these new systems came in place, new tech came in place, their jobs were taken over. And these big companies came in and say, hey, we're going to buy all of these stations and pay to keep, if it was 20 employees, we're going to pay to keep only 5. We're going to pay you this amount, and you're going to do the work of 4 people. But as long as you're able to stay with that company, you didn't mind, because you did that work and you got that salary. And so it's unfortunate, because that falls back in the place of we're talking about physical health being healthy, but mental health, how that plays a major effect on the mind of why my job was taken when I could have been the best radio disc jockey there is, but because I didn't accept or drink the Kool-Aid, my job is now taken. So, and I'm with Mac. I mean, I'll listen to the radio for so long because it becomes I don't want to use it becomes a circus of a pony show. It's about what's being said. And so, I mean, I'm a witness to streaming because I'm an artist. So I listen to my music and I stream my music. I let it play all day because that's where my royalties are coming from. It doesn't come from the radio station. So you have that controversy. And I know we weren't trying to get on this, but I feel that as entertainers, because all of us are in the field of entertainment in some way, whether Mac, you're doing drinks and booking, like you're still in that field, and FamBam, you're in that field because even with your workouts, you have the music playing. So now it's entertainment in some kind of way. I feel that I will say this to everyone who's tuning in: stream my music, Tanya Boy Cannon on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Black or No Chaser Radio. Stream my music, because that's where my royalties come from. It's not from the radio station. And that's the flip side about it. Because if we're not educated, we don't know. Because you can have the membership to Apple and Spotify, but if you have the membership, you don't own none of that music of Apple.
Nope.
It's just part of that membership. The minute you cancel that membership, that music, you got to buy it, or buy that streaming service.
Yeah.
So if you're already streaming, go ahead on and put my music in your rotation.
Yeah. I think in terms of, and we're kind of pivoting and kind of moving all over the place, but a practice that someone encouraged us, and I'm saying, the us that is gathered here, we have to be more consistent and mindful about sharing our businesses and products
Yep.
in this broadcast. Now, how do we do that? The list I gotta make is I got the Epps Institute in there. I gotta get a Tanya Boyd Cannon graphic in there and make sure that we're tagging those links into the description. We got to get a FamBam Shay link in there where it has what Shay does. Markeisha, I be kind of trying to call you Shay, but your name is Markeisha.
It's Odyssey.
Yes, but the point is that we're doing things at a very high level.
Yeah.
Mac don't get called on by 14,000 different people if he ain't doing something right.
Yeah.
Shay, you ain't doing all of the stuff that you're doing, being in the magazines that you're being referenced in and getting on HGTV and all of these other things. You don't get to that point if you're not doing something right. Tanya, you ain't on the stage with ET the hip hop preacher and Wall Street Trapper and being the official unofficial host of Baldwin and Company, one of the dopest venues, spaces in New Orleans, top tourist city, if you ain't doing something right. All I'm saying is that we have to, one, we have a peer circle, right? That peer circle we pour into each other. We need a little oil. Come on, get some of that oil. Now, the one thing that I've seen that I know that I don't have, I'm mentoring folks, but I don't have a mentor. So we talking about like, all right, what do we need to do to stay sane, to stay fine in difficult times? Who was your mentor? Jump in there, Meg. I heard you trying to get in there.
I'm G.I. Jane, and I heard from Tim Lee. Every coach has a coach.
Yep.
Every advisor has an advisor. He's someone they can talk and recognize what they're doing. Things keep you motivated. Also, they can look pull back. Even work in the same. You know what I'm saying? So I feel now when a lot of our mentors are sick or transition, right? So think about Chuck. Some of them have. It's time we have to start finding other people be motivated by to continue the great path to hope. Yeah, I feel you.
I wanted to jump in and say, and I'm gonna be obedient. Your mentor, and this is not just for you, Mac, but this is for me too. It's for everybody. Yeah. Your mentor may not necessarily be in the field that you're in.
I've heard that.
Your mentor can be someone who motivates you to your next level, which means being in the room with people who are on the same level as you. Like somebody made a comment and said, I felt like I had to dumb myself down to make other people feel comfortable. I say one thing you're never supposed to do is dumb yourself down. If you're in a room and you're smart and you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, go to the next room. If you get in that room and it seems like people are smarter than you, you're actually smarter than them. But they're doing something that inspires you to be in that room. So you just have to find that room, find that space, that group that speaks to you. We have a collective of mentors within who are all of us and who we are, right? The language is sometimes different. It's not spoken the same way. And I know you said we were pivoting earlier, but the good thing about it is we're not pivoting because everything that we're saying ties into fitness. It ties into mental fitness. It ties into physical fitness, financial fitness, spiritual fitness. Like if you start looking at it, it all works together. So with that being said, if your mind is not right, you're not going to get up and go to the gym. When you get in the gym and you see someone who may look the same size as you but can lift big more than you, and or you may have completed your reps quicker than them. You may feel like you're doing better than them. Nah, you're actually not, because mentally the competition is yourself. So you need to come out the gym, get yourself together, start over. So I feel what we should do. Your level, you've elevated. I don't know what that is making that noise. I hope it's not me.
I don't know. Where's your microphone?
Mine is right here.
Marquisha, hit your mic.
That's it.
Yeah,
Is my mic?
Yeah.
I'm moving.
It's like when you move your hand. Something.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's what it was.
I didn't even hear anything, and I'm just sitting there like I don't hear nothing. I'm the main one. I'm sorry.
Whenever I feel for spiritual growth, and this is for everyone, when you feel like you're at a peak of a point, you need to elevate. One of the trainers I used to train with, he said, don't pace yourself, push yourself. Because a lot of times we'll pace ourselves into what they call plateau, and we get upset. But if you're pushing yourself, once you do plateau, you know what it feels like. You keep going. I mean, I don't know. You could talk to that, Marquisha. Look at me, Shay.
That nigga, peace.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. I started it. I'm sorry.
But Tanya, it's interesting that you mentioned that because the message in church Sunday was, well, part of it was one of the verses about iron sharpens iron. Mm-hmm. You know, you should never really be afraid or look at that next person as, you know, your competition, you know, like embrace it, you know, like to receive the wisdom, you know, because you just never know what you may be missing out on. It's all about the mindset, you know, and the attitude that's going to, you know, truly determine your aptitude. Like, how far are you going to go with it? So, yeah.
Yeah. I have a quick question I want to ask you about joints, muscles. I know we talked about the 30-minute window of getting protein in for recovery. I recently had the shots in my knees, which I feel I made the worst mistake ever because my knees are hurting worse than they did before. But I also started back eating seafood, which I know has its own, you know, different properties. For people like myself, joint best exercises for those knee issues, and then what's your best practice of stretching, you know, to recover?
So best exercises for joints, or, you know, like reducing the stress on them, I would definitely say, you know, number one, starting with the elliptical. Like it's really good because it's not going to be as much stress as like a traditional treadmill would be. I don't care how good the shock absorbency is, and I mean, I love the treadmill, like, don't get me wrong, but you know, if you're one who really has like those chronic joint issues, you know, the elliptical is a really good way to go. Wow. Even the maxi climber that we referenced a couple of shows back is really good as well, because it's not going to be that constant pounding of those joints. Also, you know, it's not just about the exercise as much as it is working hand in hand with the nutritional piece too. You know, like, what are we putting in our bodies? You know, the reality of it is, once we reach about, you know, 30s, once we get in our 30s, you know, we stop producing as much collagen as we once did. And that's, you know, kind of what keeps those joints, I call it, like, you know, WD-40'd up, you know, so we naturally stop producing those things. So, you know, are we supplementing, you know, where we're lacking? You know, are we incorporating, you know, the collagen into our diets? Even one that I've been taking here, I say maybe for the last 2 months, it's an essential mineral called MSM. And it is, it actually supports the natural production of collagen. Really good stuff. And also the structure of your hair, you know, that keratin. So all of those things, I would say nutrition, with the supplementation as well as the exercise. Also, another good thing, you know, for joints would be any type of resistance training is really good as well. So yeah, grab you some resistance bands, resistance tubes. Chuck, you sent me or tagged me in
Oh,
a really cool video with some resistance bands.
yeah. We
Um,
got to get old boy on here. We got to get him on here.
Yeah, I mean, those were remarkable. So like, I don't know how many people actually exercise or work out with resistance bands, but I've gone through more than a few, in my
Yeah.
day because like after a while they snap.
It loses. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
these guys, it's a couple of black guys, right? Young
right,
black
right, right.
guys, have created like this type of resistance band that basically you can use for upper body, lower body. They don't stretch. It's like a
It's
fabric.
dope.
It's not rolling up, so it's pretty slick.
Oh, that's perfect. Cause I got
Yeah,
thick thighs and those
yeah,
little
you have
thin
to pull that up, but
flabby.
it was
Yeah.
it was really slick because a lot of
Listen.
times with those fabric bands, you can't necessarily use those for upper body exercises, but this was kind of like it was for everything.
Chuck, get out. Leave the room.
Hey
I
man.
was only saying I have thick thighs because as a thick woman, those flabby, I don't care how thick they are, those
Yeah.
flabby elastic bands, they will roll. And so
So
for you to say the ones that are the material that I don't know the actual material name, but I've used those on my upper and as well as right above my knees to my
Hmm.
ankle. Didn't have no issue. So I would
Yeah,
love to check these brothers out.
yeah.
so just to shout them out because I have communicated with them via Instagram. Their profile is 28 bands, bands with a
Okay.
Z. Tanya, I know that you'll like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Zetas. But definitely we've communicated with them. They will be on the Nightcap Knowledge podcast at some point.
Woo-woo.
I gotta, reach back out to them. They're out of Texas, so shout out to Texas, and it's definitely something that we should all have in our arsenal because, man, I ain't trying to lift them heavy weights no more.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna do it. But these bands is black owned business, truly innovative, and the way that like these demonstration videos that they have on their Instagram page and the variety of use. I've seen them, with softball players and you're trying to, work on the pitch. I've seen them with, folks on the beach or they attach it to a goal post and you're working on like that leg extension or that leg lift. So it's a variety of uses, but at the end of the day, from what I can see, it's a very well made product that
Hmm.
seems like it's built to last.
Yep.
And that's what I can appreciate.
I love that. I'm looking at their Insta right now. I love how you can tell when you start here, you
Right.
elevate here,
Uh-huh.
you hear because you go from using or you start here and you by the end of it, you're using your own body weight,
Yeah.
full maximized body weight. So that's dope. I'll be ordering my pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at a funny video that they got. Look. Hold up, man. I forget who is this?
Oh, that's your boy from Marvel. I mean from no. From the Incredibles.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We
That
are
tick-
so magical, man.
that tickle me right there, man. I
We are
appreciate it.
so magical at creating anything. But anywho, on the
Yeah.
for real though,
For real.
fam bam. What
Free as
is
ever.
huh? What is your if you had to give a tip because we're coming out of the month of March,
Yeah.
Women's Month, getting ready for a new month. For those who haven't started, getting themselves together in 2023,
Gotta get
just give an encouraging word for those who feel like they are January, February, March, 3 months behind. What would you say to those who want to jumpstart now and the transparency of weight loss weekly, monthly versus crash dieting? I know I said a lot. A positive word, getting ready for the new month of April. And then also encouragement of a suggested weight loss weekly, monthly versus crash dieting?
Yes. So a positive word. It's never too late to start. So wherever you are, stop thinking about it and put some action to it and do it. I mean, that's the only way. Literally, the first step is the first step. It doesn't really matter. You know, you don't have to wait until Monday of next week. Get it started tomorrow if that's truly what you want to do. But it's truly going to be, it's the mental, and it all truly works hand in hand. Also, as far as the weight loss goes, it is not going to happen overnight. It just doesn't work that way. And for those success stories, I guess you can call them a success. If it is happening overnight and you're losing, 20 pounds in 3 days, just know it's not healthy. You're definitely missing all types of nutrients. You may even have some hair falling out, just all kinds of stuff. It's nothing that you want to lose, too quickly, because, truly the same way that you lose it, you will definitely gain it back. So as far as healthy weight loss, on average, a 1 to 2 pounds a week is typically ideal. And just in being realistic and, and dropping weight. You said something, Tanya, it really becomes you versus you, even if it's just a resistance band or, you trying to be better than yourself than, a month ago. So it really becomes you versus you, and so in that respect, I would also say, finding a trainer or, building your village of, individuals who are going to encourage you and let you know like, hey, okay, so what, we may not have lost, 2 pounds this week, but let's celebrate the small win that we did lose this one. Even if we didn't necessarily get the numbers down, we lost 2 inches in the waist. So just because you're not losing the numbers with the weight doesn't mean that you're not dropping the inches. So you have to look at the full picture, to really appreciate your journey. It's yours. And you just really have to embrace the ride and be open to, the ups and the downs, because it's not going to be, nothing is perfect. Absolutely nothing is perfect, but it is, truly you versus you.
That's what's
I love
up.
that. I'm sorry, y'all. Fats came in. He's doing everything to be disruptive.
Hey man, Fats, you good, bro. You good. Mac, you look, you moving around over there, man. Jump in.
I think he agrees with FamBam. It's you versus you. We're gonna be a better me in 2023. I have a 4:45 a.m. call time.
Come on.
And a 6 a.m. workout. So I need to go my ass to bed. So where we about to go?
We get to the money. We definitely get to the money.
We get to the money, baby. Every Tuesday, every day that ends in Y. My friends, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Historical Stages Project. We shout out to them. Shout out to FamBam Shay. Shout out to Epps Institute, Mississippi Move, B&B Barbecue. Shout out to Rolling Fork, Anguilla, Black Hawk, Vaden, Sharkey County, Hump Cove. Man, all of them, man. Look, y'all stay up. Mississippi Move, Mississippi Rapid Response Coalition on the way, man. Y'all tune in, check in, tap in, do something for somebody that you don't need. All right, peace.